You are making the world a better place by listening to the Joy of Living podcast. This is your guide to achieving a more purposeful, powerful, and positive life. Join Barry Shore in unlocking the best version of you and becoming happier, healthier, and wealthier. And now, here's your ambassador of joy, Barry Shore.
Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal beings, and good-looking people. If you're good-looking, you're always looking for and finding the good. That's the definition of a good-looking person, always looking for and finding the good. You found good in abundance because you tuned in consciously and conscientiously to the joy of living with your humble host, Barry Shore, the ambassador of joy. Notice I didn't say the ambassador of joy. The ambassador of joy. And you tuned in for one reason and one reason only. And it's the best reason in the whole world. Because you care the most in the whole world about you. Y-O-U. And that's great. Because when you become the best you make the world a better place. You build more bridges of harmony. You create more joy, happiness, peace, and love in the world. And you know that you tuned in because you either heard from your family or friends, and we have, thank God, over 500,000 people listening around the world right now. And by the time we finish, by the time we bring on our amazing, magical Matt, we'll have probably about 510,000 people listening. And you're always urging your family and friends to come and listen. And that's why we have about 25, 30,000 people every single month joining. So hopefully we'll be at 1 million in just the next few months. And of course, I urge you always to share this with 5 friends. You don't want to share with 50 or 100, that's up to you. But at least 5, so we can touch 2.5 million people around the world. Because you know, on this, when we talk about the 3 fundamentals of life, which is why you tuned in, these 3 fundamentals will enable you to be happier, healthier, and wealthier. Who doesn't want that? So the 3 fundamentals of life are, number 1, life, your life has purpose. And when you lead a purpose-driven life, number 2 happens. You go mad. Now, MAD is a wonderful acronym that stands for make a difference. You lead a purpose-driven life, you make a difference in the world. And the 3rd fundamental is to uncover the power and the secrets of everyday words and terms. Simple example, this show is being carried over the internet. If you ask anybody, what does www stand for? Invariably, it tells you it has to do with the internet. And factually, they're speaking, they're correct. However, in our world, the world of the positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant, www stands for what a wonderful world. And of course, we have a tip of the hat and a big thank you to Louis Armstrong Satchmo for enabling that song to go viral and not just touch tens of millions or hundreds of millions, billions of people on the planet. Whenever you do, you hear the opening bars of what a wonderful world. What do you do right away? You can't help it. You smile. Now, smile is one of the most important words you can internalize, utilize, and leverage in your life because smile stands for seeing miracles in life every day. That's right, seeing miracles in life every day. Now, I am privileged to speak to people on the internet every week and during the month, of course, and I even speak to people in person. I recently spoke to 1,172 people. I'm telling the story about Barry Shore and seeing miracles in life every day. Some people raise their hand and say, hey, Barry Shore, I've been up for hours already. Have you seen any miracles? And I ask them, are you here? Can you hear? Can you stand still? I can't do that. Can you walk? I can feel you that. You have water to drink, you have family, you have food to eat, you have a place to sleep, you have friends. Every single one of those is a miracle. And what's the proof? Simple proof. 1 million people didn't get out of bed this morning. You know why? They died. By definition, if you're listening or you're watching, you didn't. Therefore, your obligation to live life to the full. So let me tell you a quick story. It's about me. Imagine, if you can, I'm standing up in the morning, completely healthy and hearty, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. And in the evening, I'm in the hospital, totally, completely paralyzed, my neck down. And it was not from an automobile accident. It wasn't a spinal injury. It was a rare disease that took over my body and rendered me quadriplegic. Nothing on my body moved. I can only communicate by blinking my eyes. I was 144 days in the hospital. I was in a hospital bed in my own home for 2 years. I couldn't move. I was in a wheelchair for 4 years. I had braces on both my legs, my hips and my ankles. That was progress. Thank God today I'm able to be vertical and ambulatory with the help of a 7-foot walking wand. So I'm a triped, not a biped. Can't walk up a stair by myself. Can't walk up a curb by myself. I have help 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. But you hear my voice. Positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant, all because of one word. Smile. Seeing miracles in life every day. But I got to tell you a quick story. My 8-year-old niece comes over to me a few weeks ago and she said, Uncle Barry, can we spell smile? S-M-I-E-L. And I thought about it. Smile sounds the same. Why not? I asked her, how come? She says, because then it would stand for seeing miracles in everyday life. Out of the mouth of an 8-year-old. But what was she doing? She was creating the kind of world that she wants to live in. Now, CREATE is a fabulous acronym that stands for causing rethinking, enabling all to excel. You're going to do a lot of that with our amazing guest. But get ready. This is so cool. Rethinking is about a shift in perspective. Now, I got to tell you something. I've been working with people for more than 45 years. And I've been working with people that very highly accomplished people on paper. When they come to me, they usually drop the F in shift and the other stuff happens. So you got to be effing careful with your Fs. You want to shift your perspective just a little bit. And the result is you'll be able to internalize, utilize, and leverage the 6 most important words you'll ever learn. And these are choice, not chance, determines your destiny. How you choose to respond in any given situation will determine the path in your life and your trajectory. Now, I got to tell you, I'm going to warn everybody, new listeners, and our wonderful guest, Matt, that I do use a lot of 4-letter words. I even use the 4-letter FU word, and I do it because of the shock value, and it's fun. Now, of course, the 4-letter words that we use, because we live in the world of the positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant, are love, life, hope, play, free, gift, swim. And the 4-letter FU word is fun. Fun, that's right. F-U, capital N, capital N. Now, some people right away raise their hands and say, Barry Shore, fun's only spelled with 3 letters. Now, in our world, the world of the positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant, fun is spelled F-U, capital N, capital N. So after the show, you see your family and friends, you have a twinkle in your eye, a smile on your face, point your finger and say, F-U, everybody. But remember to add right away capital N, capital N. You'll get their attention, and now you can share with them all the amazing things that you heard today and learn from our fabulous guest, Matt DiMaio. But before we bring on wonderful Matt, I just want to urge everybody to use the 2 most important words in the English language, the most powerful words in the English language 3 times a day from now and the rest of your life. And the result is you'll be happier, healthier, and wealthier. And these 2 words are thank you, thank you. Thank you. Thank stands for to harmonize and nurture kindness. Kind is a fabulous word that stands for keep inspiring noble deeds. I can't think of anybody that inspires noble deeds more than wonderful, amazing Matt DiMaio. Wonderful Matt, please say hello to 508,927 people around the world.
Well, thank you, Barry. I'm sure this is going to be an enjoyable interview.
Well, F you, Matt. When was the last time you said F you and you laughed?
Hey, I've got some really big promises to make you and the people that are tuning in here today. And that is that we're not going to just have improvement. I'm going to help your viewers and listeners experience a personal breakthrough in today's episode. So they're going to break through barriers that they never realized that they even had, that they were capable of. And so I'm going to throw it back to you, but I wanted to make a big promise before we got started.
Okay, so I'm going to tell everybody up front, Matt is an SOB, source of blessing. Also, in this case, source of breakthrough. Ta-da! Now, if I started telling everybody all the amazing things that Matt has accomplished, it would take the rest of the show. So I'm not going to do it. What I will tell everybody is that he's happily married. He's a father. He has an amazing ability to be of benefit to people. And that's the reason that I am actually quite honored and humble that he's agreed to be on the show with us today. So without that further ado, and by the way, those of you looking and watching and not just listening, you can see there's a plant growing out of Matt's head. And that's good. That's a sign of growth. Everything about Matt has to do with growing and improving and being and breaking through, because that's what plants do. So let's just jump right in and talk about a couple of things, because your whole world is about the mind and mindset. And let's just go and talk about the first thing that really touches me. And it's something that I saw you do recently on a video, and it has to do with remembering people's names. So let's make a definitive statement here. There is nothing more beautiful in the world for someone to hear than the sound of their own name. Now, what is it that you do with names that endears you to people, Matt? First of all, tell us what you do, why you do it, how you do it, and how other people can do it. How's that for a list of things?
Well, Barry, I specialize in teaching people strategies, tactics, and techniques, mental tricks, if you will, that help people to be smarter, faster. See, school told us what to learn, but they don't tell us how to learn it. For example, did your teacher or the parent ever wag their finger at you and say, pay attention when I talk to you, listen to me when I talk to you? Did you ever, or did anybody in the audience ever take a formal class on how to be an active listener? Maybe some of you did. How about, hey, focus, stop daydreaming? Other than with martial arts, did you ever take a class on how do you focus? How do you concentrate? Or, okay, take notes and prepare for the exam. Lovely. How? So what I did was I specialize in the strategies on teaching people how to do that.
Hold on one moment. This is so critical. Right now, people are reveling in what you're sharing with us. And I want to urge everybody on that last point about taking notes. And I usually do this on every podcast. Don't take notes. No matter what happens, don't write anything down. I want you to feel the experience, let it flow around you, because one of the reasons that we have the internet and we have recordings is so you can listen again. So this first time, just let it be. Just enjoy and just be in the presence of this wonderful font of greatness that is being brought to you. Don't take notes. I beg of you. You want to write down one word, 2 words, fine. But really what you're here for is listen, experience it, go back and listen again, and then you can stop it whenever you want, take notes. And then the real key for success, listen the third time, because that's math is worth all that. So on that point that I wanted to urge every people, you're right. Take notes, get ready. No, don't do that. Daydream. We want you to daydream. Go and enjoy. Now, Matt, I gave you a pause. I did a little PI, pause this, interrupt this. And then however, you're so good you can do anything. Back on track, baby.
So we live in a world of information overload. New content, ideas, technology is coming at us faster than ever before. The problem a lot of people have is that they don't have any methodology to be able to absorb it. Their technique is basically they just take a shovel and try and shovel as much stuff into their head as they can, and it winds up going everywhere. They don't have any kind of organized system. And so I made a life's study of the process of how do we learn things. And actually what you're doing right now, all of those of you that are listening to my voice or seeing us here online, you have systems that you use. You're just not aware of them. You're using them kind of on automatic pilot. It's like when you're driving to somebody's house and you get there and you don't even realize that you got there yet. And so what I do is I break the process apart and make it very mechanical. So earlier, Barry, you mentioned that one of the demonstrations I do to gain instant credibility is when I'm doing a speaking engagement for a large group of people. before I'm introduced, I will go around the room and meet as many people in the audience as I possibly can. And then once I'm introduced from stage, I will call every member of the audience by name. So two things happen. Number one, it's like a Martian landed in their midst. They go, what's the guy with the funny mustache doing? Holy mackerel, has he got some kind of superpower? The other thing that happens is they pay really close attention because I just did something they wish they could do. Almost everybody claims that they're bad at names. And it gives me a level of instant credibility with the audience because rather than just blowing a lot of hot air at them, they just saw me apply a technique right in front of them. And I call them by name so they feel recognized, they feel connected to me. And this is a demonstration that I've been doing since 1980.
Wait a minute. I want to make everybody aware that we're no longer in the 1980s. Wait, that means 40 plus years Matt is capable. By the way, I'm going to put him on the spot, but I think he'll enjoy this. I bet that he could see somebody from 34 years ago and say, "Hi, Ken, how are you?" And Ken would say, "What?" He said, "Yeah, right." Because that's the beauty and the genius of what Matt is sharing with us. That it's not only that he can do it, it's that you can do it. Because this show is as great as Matt is, not about Matt. This show is great as Barry is, not about Barry. It's about you, Y-O-U. So by the way, I've seen Matt do this with dozens and dozens of people. And that instant credibility extends now to people doing something which is the cornerstone of learning, and that is trust. Is that fair to say?
Absolutely. You know, a lot of times, by the way, I'm 73 years old, and I still do these public demonstrations of mental prowess. And so I want the people that are watching to understand that you're not too old. It's not too late. And you're smarter than you realize. And so what you're lacking, you're not broken. You just are lacking a methodology. You're lacking a strategy. And so I wasn't born with any kind of special power. Yes, I have a decent IQ. I guess I'm a little above average, but I'm nothing special. What I teach is very much like learning how to ride a bicycle. Nobody is born with knowing how to ride a bike, and yet almost anybody can learn how to do it pretty easily. Now, I've taken it to Olympic competitive status where, you know, it's like I'm competing in the Tour de France. But most people don't need to have that kind of capability where they're going to remember everybody in a seminar room of 100 or 150 or 200 people. But how would you like to be able to go to a barbecue and know everybody's name, or go to your Chamber of Commerce or Kiwanis Club meeting, or go to the Women's Auxiliary, or attend a live class, or do a training for your company where you're easily able to recall the names of everybody you meet? It'll do a couple of things for you. Number one, it will give the people that you're speaking to a feeling that you recognize them. They will like you more. They will feel connected to you. And that, if you have anything to sell, it makes it that much easier because they respect you. In fact, you gain a level of personal respect that's almost impossible to achieve any other way. In addition to that, your own confidence in yourself. You feel empowered. In fact, it's like being able to remember lots and lots of people's names is like having a real life superpower. But it's only one of the many, many things I teach. And again, it's like riding a bicycle. There's nothing special to it. It's a mechanical process.
Well, let's just do the following. We're talking about riding bicycles, not falling off. I want to pick up on one thing you said and then tell everybody something absolutely fabulous. And that is, most people will say the terrible words that you express. Well, I don't have a good memory for names, or I don't have a good memory. What Matt is sharing with us today just gave you a shift in perspective. Remember, keep that F in place so the other stuff happens. Your shift in perspective, hey, I'm really good at remembering names. I have a good memory. That gives you a new confidence in you. So be right back. I'll tell you something amazing. We have sponsors that love our show. We have vetted them. We wouldn't have them on if we didn't think they're worthy of your time and attention. We're going to be right back with that guy who rides a bicycle on stage and then goes to a unicycle and remembers 300 names blindfolded. And we'll be right back after this brief message. Don't go away. There's more Matt on the other side.
Hello, skincare connoisseurs. If you think you have tried everything in skincare, you are going to love what I am about to tell you. I'm pharmacist Benjamin I. Fuchs. I'm a dermatology pharmacist, and what I've discovered in my compounding pharmacy after decades of working with patients with skin traumas and skin diseases is the missing link in skincare is topical essential nutrition. And because of this missing link, we're not maximizing the potential of topical skincare. We're leaving skin beauty and skin health on the table. And that's why I formulated my Truth Treatments. Listen, the skin's an organ. It needs and wants and craves nutrients, vitamins, minerals, amino acids, fatty acids, and plant-derived minerals, and now it can get them in super high concentrations in my Truth Treatments. Originally formulated for dermatologists and their patients, now they're available to you. Check them out today at truthtreatments.com, and I know you are going to love the truth.
Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal beings, and good-looking people. We have a good-looking show. I was looking for and finding the good. We find good and found good in abundance. Our cup runneth over with good. His name is Matt DiMaio, or Matt DiMaio. You take the Mayo. I have the Mayo. Just give me a BLT. Okay, welcome back, wonderful Matt. And to, again, finally, now we're up to 513,917 people around the world. We urge you, share this show with 5 people. And of course, love us on Spotify and Apple. And if you want to share with 50 or 100, it's up to you, but at least 5 so we can touch millions of people, because what we're doing here is raising the level of confidence of millions of people around the world. There's nothing better with that. And I could start telling everybody's name, except we'll take the rest of the show and probably eternity to say millions of names. So again, let's go back to wonderful Matt. And he just told us how to lift up your kilt without making people get wild. Now, what is a kilt? Kilt is, of course, what the Scottish men wear. We don't know what they wear underneath. However, they wear it. And kilt in our world, we spell KLT. And it's a 3-step process of enabling people to get close to you and you to them. It's called know, like, and trust. And Matt just told us that you get the first 2 levels by hearing someone's name, repeating it, and repeating it later. That's really the key. You've already gained know and like, and now they'll be willing to listen and maybe even trust you. So let's just do what you said here, wonderful Matt, which is the what you call the 3 causes of forgettery. I love it. So why do people forget? And therefore, how can people remember more?
Indeed. You know, everybody wants to talk to me about memory, and sometimes they peg me as a so-called memory expert. But really what I do is I teach people how to learn things fast. That's what my YouTube channel is all about. So shameless plug. My YouTube channel is called Be Smarter Faster. So if you go to youtube.com/Be Smarter Faster, you'll find all kinds of content about how to do everything from dealing with a textbook differently than the way you deal with a novel. How do you prepare for exams? What are specific strategies that you can use when you're taking a multiple choice test? Or how can you get a higher score on that exam, even if you don't know the material any better? And some of the people that are listening are preparing for professional certification exams, not just college students. And so I specialize in a world of being able to take apart what it is that you want to learn. Right now, people are scared of learning AI or crypto, and they're afraid that the world is going to leave them behind. So I focus on that. But getting back to the point that you just made, Barry, is a lot of people talk themselves down and they say, you know, I have a terrible memory. I can't remember anything. I must be getting old. Well, I teach something called the 3 causes of forgettery.
Forgettery.
What causes you to forget stuff right now? And in a nutshell, oh, by the way, I'm going to be giving away a free course on this to your listeners that stick around to the end, how to triple your memory power.
Okay, so again, remember everybody, don't take notes. Everything is in the show notes. So don't worry if Matt mentions anything about his YouTuber. Just listen. Everything is in the show notes. Enjoy the experience. By the way, Matt, you're going to love this. JOY is a wonderful acronym that stands for Journey of You.
Journey of You. I love it. You were right.
And that's what you do. This is the journey of you. You're sharing with people. Never let the words escape your lips, and certainly not be in your mind or your heart. Those, I don't even want to say the words. I'll just say it only to erase them. I have a poor memory. You don't. You just have a non-skilled memory at the moment, and Matt's going to show you little hooks right now that you can remember. You don't have to write them down. Just remember. So what are the 3 aspects of forgettery?
So here are the 3 causes of forgettery. What causes you to forget stuff? Let's pretend, let's talk about the idea of names since that's where we started. So the first cause of forgettery is that you don't get it to begin with. So during the introduction, you're meeting somebody and they say, hi, I'd like you to meet my friend, Mr. Blah, blah, blah. And you go, hey, nice to see you, pal. Hello, dear. Hey, sweetheart.
Let's do that.
You didn't get it. You may be wondering stuff like, hey, you know, where's the food? You know, where's the drinks? So if you don't get it, you can't keep it. To forget is to not get. Cause of forgettery number 2, you don't care. Now, some of you are going, but Matt, I care. Well, there's caring, and then there's caring enough to do something about it. So I teach a system kind of like a mental filing system where you actually put the information away in an orderly fashion, which is a radical concept for some people. Usually you just kind of throw it in a big pile on the floor of your head and then you can't find it. It's there, but you can't find it when you need it. I teach you a way of putting the information in kind of a filing system, but you have to care enough to actually use a system. And if I'm allowed to read some of your thoughts, you're saying, but Matt, I care. Well, yeah, you care, but it's like the overweight person sitting on the couch, stuffing their face with potato chips and ice cream. You care, but not enough to do something about it. But the third cause of forgettery, and this is the big one, it makes the first 2 look small by comparison, and that is that you don't believe. You know what you don't believe? You don't believe that you have a miraculous memory, a miraculous, super powerful mind right now. You know how I know that? Because just as Barry said a moment ago, you say things to yourself like, oh, I must be getting old. Oh, I must be getting the Alzheimer's. Meantime, you're in your 40s. Don't ever say things like that to yourself. Oh, I have a terrible memory for people's names. Oh, I always forget a name. I always remember a face, but I never remember a name. Look, folks, saying that stuff to yourself is not the result of a bad memory. It is the cause.
Okay, so wait a minute. Dr. DiMaio,
Matteo DiMaio.
DiMaio, the Cinco de Mayo, and we care enough to remember your name. Matt, can I tell you because you triggered something, I have an acronym for your name. Can I share it with you?
Sure, of course. It's your show.
Because we're talking about mindset, right? Everything.
Absolutely.
Mindset attracts tremendous transformation.
Ooh, I love it.
Well, that's who you are. This is what you're talking about. You're talking about transforming the person who's listening. Look, 500,000 people listening. We're going to share with 5 people. We're going to touch millions of people. At least 3 people out of these millions will say, I care enough to get off the couch and stop eating those potato chips. And yes, because I love the what you conjured up there. So let's just give people, what are the 3 things again? Just 1, 2, 3. 1,
You don't get it.
Number
You
two,
don't care. You don't care, and you don't believe.
you don't get it, you don't care, you don't believe. When
Now,
you,
I've got a story regarding this with somebody that actually had an amazing transformation, just using that and nothing else.
see,
So here in
transformation,
the Tampa Bay area, which is where I live,
yes,
we have a photographer who is at a very high level, and he does most of the big business events. And he travels a lot. Well, he was doing an out-of-state wedding, which is unusual for him because he usually does business stuff. And the next time I saw him, he came back and he was like, Matt, I blew everybody away. I remembered everybody at the reception, everybody I met. And I said to him, Rick, I will bet that you didn't have to use any of the fancy techniques that I teach. I'll bet that you just used the 3 causes of forgettery. And he went, yeah, Matt, I paid attention when they introduced themselves. I really cared whether or not I was going to remember their names. And then I kept telling myself, yes, I'm going to remember this person. And how am I going to remember them? And not only did I blow away everybody at the reception, but I got the biggest tip I've ever received for any project I've ever done. And so please understand that what I'm teaching here and the kind of stuff I teach isn't just so that you feel good or so that other people feel good. This can actually translate to really helping you be much more successful in business and your social life. By the way, those of you that are single out there, being able to recall the names of those other single people you meet can certainly impact your joy in your personal life.
So remember, as we say in the beginning of this program, and the reason you tune in is because the result of using our 3 fundamentals and listening to Matt is that you'll be happier, healthier, and wealthier. He just told us, he gave us a real life story. That's not a story, it's an event. And this will happen to the people. Remember, out of the millions of people listening and watching, 3 people will actually do this. And that's okay. Because those 3 people will be transformed. And they're going to tell everybody, wow, I remember hearing Matt on Barry Shaw's podcast. It's amazing. It changed my life. And it will. That's why I'm so happy that Matt is here. Let's talk about how you conquer what people will call, for want of a better term, the fear of learning. And you mentioned the great words right now. People are struck with fear about AI, which, by the way, AI is a great acronym. It stands for always improving. In other words, whenever you hear the words AI from this moment forward, and whenever the words come to you, AI, you always keep those 2 words in front of you, always improving. It will make you feel better. You'll listen more, you'll tune in, you'll be able to remember, and you'll have no fear. So AI, always improving. But people hear that, or they hear the word crypto, and because it's different and it shakes their world, people quake in their boots, and that causes fear. So let's talk about what you do to future-proof the mind.
By the way, that is the title of my forthcoming book, which will be published in May, How to Future-Proof Your Mind, How to Conquer Your Fear of Learning New Things. By the way, did you happen to notice my coffee cup? It's like, why is this guy who's talking about this academic stuff with a SpongeBob cup? The answer is, on my YouTube channel, my most popular video with over 10 million views is called How to Absorb Textbooks Like a Sponge. And so somebody gave me a SpongeBob cup in honor of my book, in honor of the stuff that I teach on my YouTube channel. Now, let's talk about what happens to older people, because it's not that they're afraid of AI or crypto or these new things. It's not really the technology that they're afraid of. They are afraid of their own ability to keep up. They're afraid of being left behind. And the reason that they have that fear is because things are coming at us faster than ever before, and they don't have a methodology to be able to put things into their head easily. And so in my newest book, and some of the things that I teach is, first of all, that the real enemy isn't your age, it's avoidance. Another thing is that, and Barry, you talk about this, you have to retrain that inner critic that we all have. And then when we talk about memory, understand that memory isn't magic. It's a system. A lot of times people will try and learn something just one time and then fail to review it. And I call it the review gap. And failing to review things regularly, spaced repetition, really is the missing link with a lot of what people try to learn. And then in my new book, one of the things that I really address is learning while you're working, the adult learner's dilemma. You know, everybody is time starved. You're tech stressed, and you're still expected to know everything. So I teach micro learning and habit stacking, where in 10 minutes, you learn how to take things and kind of, it's like building with Legos. You start with just 1 or 2 blocks, and then you're able to build anything that you want.
Let's pause for a moment, because so much to unpack here. And I want to discuss 2 words, actually 2 phrases that you use. One is one word, and the other is 2 words. The review gap. Let's be blunt. People enjoy hearing and learning new things, or at least people that I associate with. It's really energizing and invigorating to hear something new. Unless and until, like you said, you have a process to internalize, utilize, and leverage it, and review what you just learned at some point. And the review can be done in a matter of moments sometimes. You created 3 little words for a hook for some particular idea. And now you brought into focus, because look, we have a worldwide audience. I have people from Bhutan. We have people listening from all over Africa and South America and India and the United States, and everywhere in the world. When you mention the word Lego today, it's like saying Las Vegas. Well, everybody conjures up an idea. So Lego is almost the perfect analogy for what you're saying, because it has to do with the idea of building blocks, creating a vision. In other words, whether you had a picture in front of you from the Lego box of what you want to build, so I'm going to build what I want to build, because you have all the pieces. You can do whatever you want, and in your own mind, it's going to be beautiful. As long as there's not too much of a gap between one Lego and another, they'll always fit together, and they'll always be able to build, and you can do it. So Matt, I am saying thank you to you for those 2 wonderful hooks: review gap, Lego. So thank you for that. Let's continue this journey of you, Joy, in your Future Proof, which is your new book, Future Proof Your Mind. And let's learn some more things. Maybe do it with some musical affirmations.
You know, I'm glad that you brought that up. But I want to go back to the Legos idea just for a really quick moment, because I want to kind of put an exclamation point on what you were talking about. You can build anything you want with the Legos, but first you have to have an idea of what you want to build. You have to have the imagination, and then you connect the blocks together. And folks, that is the secret to building a super powerful mind. Your mind is a connecting machine. So the way to be able to learn and remember anything you want, it comes down to 2 words: imagination, which is a lengthened form of the word image. We hold pictures in our heads, and then we connect them together. Listen to little children when they're learning something new. They'll go, Uncle Barry, Uncle Matt, you mean it's like? Yes, this is like that. They're looking to connect things together. So imagination and connection are the 2 words that, when you learn how to use them correctly, give you a real life superpower. Now, one of the things that we have a problem with is that we talk down to ourselves. And we need to have mental vitamins.
Matt, let me interrupt you for one moment. Everybody on this show, Matt, knows that we speak up about ourselves. Up has to do with unlimited potential. There are some human beings that people in my audience know that still do talk down to themselves. However, they reach out and raise them up. Yes. Unfortunately, the human condition is such that there are people walking around who use their minds in a not positive way. Yes, it could happen to some people. We know that.
It's an unfortunate fact of life. You know, when no matter where you turn, no matter what newscast you turn into, when you listen to talk radio, when you're just scrolling through the internet and you come across news sites, it's always the bad news. But so we all know that reciting positive affirmations works. If we tell ourselves positive things on a repeated schedule, it works. But there's a problem with affirmations, and that is that most people don't do them, because to write out the positive statements and to read them to yourself on a daily basis is tedious. It's boring. And so I wanted to find a way to solve that problem for people.
1 second. He's going to solve the problem of the universe. However, we're going to allow you to visit with our sponsors who we wouldn't have on if we didn't think you're worthy of your time. We'll be right back with Matt. He's going to tell us how to solve the problem of the universe. Don't go away. Be right back.
What if you could shop at your favorite local stores, swipe your current credit card, and get extra cashback rewards? And what if you could also have donations sent to your favorite cause at no extra cost to you? What if this amazing program was absolutely free and very simple to set up? Well, What If is here. Welcome to Einstein Cares, where your everyday shopping gives you and your favorite cause extra money. It's fast, it's easy, and effortless.
Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved immortal beings, and good-looking people. You're good-looking, is always looking for and finding the good. We found good in abundance. His name is Matt DiMaio. He has given us so many pieces. Again, everything you want to know about Matt is in the show notes. You don't have to take any notes. You want to come back, you want to listen again, and you can pause it and do whatever you want. Everything is right there. You're going to love us on Spotify, love us on whatever that place is called, Apple, yes. Share it with the 5 people. You want to do 50 or 100, it's up to you, but at least 5. And now he's going to talk to us about, he solved the problem of the universe. Wonderful, Matt. What is it?
How do you keep yourself motivated in a negative world? Well, we talked about the idea of affirmations, and that in reality, it's tedious and boring to just constantly try and repeat positive phrases to yourself. But the easiest thing in the world to get stuck in your head is a catchy song. So I have worked as a professional musician for multiple decades. I performed under a stage name as a rock keyboard player, and I've been on the bill with many internationally known acts. And so a year ago, I had an idea for...
An epiphany, not an idea. An epiphany.
Epiphany. Hey, don't piff me off.
Yeah, don't. What's a piff for you, Epi?
And so I had an epiphany that I could combine creating music with a positive motivation stuff, and not syrupy and sappy type stuff, but I'm a rock musician. And so I wanted to create music that motivates. And so I created an album called Learning Machine, Music That Motivates, with song titles like I Believe in Myself, The Will to Win, Focus on Fire, Dedication Drive. And so there's 10 songs on this album. And what happens is these are really catchy, up-tempo, in a variety of rock genres, everything from like an AC/DC type sound to a ZZ Top kind of a groove. And even I have a rap rock type, so easy for you to say, Matt, get that a little bit adjusted. A rap rock song called Study Grind. In all, 10 songs that have catchy lyrics with catchy hook melodies that when you begin to sing these songs to yourself, you're filling your brain with the right thoughts. It comes natural. And we all know what it's like to just have a song stuck in your head and you just repeat it effortlessly. And so this becomes a musical motivation that allows you to improve yourself without any effort on your part. And again, my little plug, if you go to musicthatmotivatesme.com, you'll be able to check it out and get free samples of all 10 songs, plus the lyric videos, plus be able to read the lyrics as you go along with it. And I will promise you that the results that you get will be tangible right away.
So here's a quick question for you, Matt. Is there anything that you don't do?
Well, there's a lot that I don't do.
Well, let's go back to your analogy with young people. And as people know, been listening to me, thank God, for years and such. So we know that we teach people that everybody has 4 ages they live in. If you're over 25, everybody has 4 ages living at the same time. You have your chronological age. In your case, you said you're 70 something. You have your metabolic age. In my case, I'm 48 because I swim 2 miles a day, 6 days a week. You have your mental acuity. I'm 28 because I work with a lot of people, 28-year-olds on the internet. And you have something called your SOW. SOW, sense of wonder. So I'm an 8-year-old. And that's what you want. And I teach people, you want to be between 6 and 9. Because once you get over the double digits, there are the system squashing you, and below 6, there's still in formation. So the best ages, in my humble opinion, 7, 8, 9. You're always looking at the world like this, which is what you're sharing with us. And you'll notice that the 7, 8, 9-year-olds, they're always humming, singing, doing in a sing-song manner, even unbeknownst to themselves, because it's the natural rhythm of life.
You said a really important thing, and this is something I talk about all the time. I call it natural learning. How do you learn anything that you do right now? The problem is you don't know how. But you have this ability, and you stumble across these ideas and tricks, but you're not even aware that you're doing it at that time. And I call it natural learning because I teach you how to use your mind the way God designed it. Use your mind the way it was supposed to be used. And guess what? It works better.
I like that. And guess what? It works. And remember, the result of it, when we say it works, it means that you'll be happier, healthier, and wealthier. Now, I'm loath to say the words I'm about to say, Matt. However, I'm going to have to say them. We're coming to a close on our time together today. I have 3 quick questions for you. Are you ready, sir?
Sure.
Number 1, will you come back again?
Oh, I would be honored. I would love it. I would enjoy it.
Thank you. Number 2, Matt DiMaio, you have only 80 seconds to answer this question. What is your most fervent desire?
Barry, I'm on a personal mission to make a positive, lasting difference in the lives of students of all ages around the world. And so that is what my most fervent desire is, that I am able to leave that as a legacy.
That is beautiful. And it's being now promoted to millions of people around the world.
Hey, I have a gift for everybody.
Remember, the gift is all in the show notes. Yes, what is the gift?
I have a free memory course, how to triple your memory power without association, mnemonics, or other memory tricks. Triple your memory power. You go to startremembering.com. How are you going to remember that? Startremembering.com and get a free, this is a free course, not a This is not a trick. There's nothing to pay at all. This is really, really free.
Should I start remembering?
StartRemembering.com. Don't stop remembering. Start remembering, for goodness sakes. And tell me when we're done, because I have a closing quote for you.
Close quotes.
This will be the last thing I say.
No. It cannot be. It's one of the last things you'll say on this show. On
this episode, right. So here is what I want you to all be aware of. Everything I teach takes just a little bit of work and effort, but I promise you it's worth it. Folks, always remember that the fastest way to get to the top is to get off your bottom. Thanks for having me, Barry.
Okay, number 3, may I give you a hug in front of 516,822 people around the world? Let me tell you what HUG stands for. Ready? Heartfelt, unlimited, giving. 1, 2, 3. Remember, you're listening to The Joy of Living, the humble host, Barry Shore, the ambassador of joy. And you tuned in for one reason is the best reason in the whole world, because you care the most whole world about you. Y-O-U. And you know you're here because we work with the 3 fundamentals of life. These 3 fundamentals are: number 1, life. Your life has purpose. You lead a purpose-driven life. Number 2 happens. Good number 2. You go mad. MAD stands for make a difference. You've learned it from Matt. You make a difference in the world. Number 3 is to unlock the power in the sequence of everyday words and terms like WWW. What a wonderful world. Smile, seeing miracles in life every day. As my 8-year-old niece says, seeing miracles in everyday life. Create the kind of world you want to live in, causing rethinking. Hello, listen to Matt. Causing remembering, enabling all to excel. And therefore, what will happen is you will internalize, utilize, and leverage the 6 most important words you'll ever learn, which are: choice, not chance, determines your destiny. How you choose to respond to any given situation will determine the pathway of your life and your trajectory. Use 4-letter words. Remember, we live in the world of positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant. So the 4-letter words that we use are love, life, hope, play, pray, free, gift, swim, and tell the world to F you. Remember to add capital N, capital M. So after the show, you see family and friends. I want you to point your finger, twinkle in your eye, smile in your face, say, F you, everybody. Remember to add capital N, capital. Where'd you get that? I listened to Barry Shore. He had on this guy. What's his name? Oh, I remember. Because you have a great memory for names. You can do almost anything now. And just go to the show notes. Remember to use the 2 most powerful words in the English language 3 times a day from now and the rest of your life. You'll be happier, healthier, and wealthier. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Matt. And a blessing from Matt and Barry. Everybody out there, go forth, live exuberantly, spread the seeds of joy, happiness, peace, and love. Go mad. Go make a difference. Matt, don't go away.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Joy of Living podcast. Now that's another step towards your healthier, happier, and wealthier life. Never hesitate to do good in the world, no matter what the situation. Join us for another upbeat discussion next time at barryshore.com. And be sure to leave a rating and subscribe to the show to get more conversations like this. And remember to share it with your family and friends too. See you on the next episode.